midday in Lagos, Nigeria, but our attention is on what's playing out in Osun State ahead of the elections, which is barely about 17 days away. Looks like the drum of war rather than preparation for an election. We'll explore all of these issues from all sides, the blame and the trading of words. But that will be after we bring you what the headlines are leading with. Let's get started with that. Head of Civil Service of the Federation admits to institutional failure in doing due diligence following the controversial agency, APC, currently undergoing investigation by the House of Representatives. And federal government arranged 2 Ansaru commanders over the abduction and killing of school teachers in a rural local government area of Oyo State. In about 17 days to the Osun State governorship election, political tension mounts amid series of violence and killings. APC and Accord party trade words. Commissioner of Police in that state is accused of bias over arrest of Accord members in the state. That is the big focus today on the program. It's sad to see music changing to the sound of war in politics, but that will be in just a moment. I'll break it down for you. But in what appears and considered to be a rare display of understanding and responsibility, the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Wilson-Jack, has accepted that her office failed to thoroughly verify documents linked to the controversial agency, admitting that due diligence was not sufficiently carried out before official actions were taken. Mrs. Wilson-Jack made the admission during her second appearance before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the alleged operation of the council. Meanwhile, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Olufemi Akinola, who represented the Inspector General of Police at the hearing, said the Director General of the Council, Mr. Adeni Adeyemi, could not appear before the committee because of a subsisting court order.
Having seen all the facts and observed all the documents, concede that we ought to have carried out more due diligence in the discharge of the duties of the office in issuing an authorized establishment and a recruitment waiver to the PEAC/PFICP. Well, the letter of appointment I will not be able to say, because when I looked at it, it had the State House logo, and I wasn't immediately in a position to compare with other similar letter-headed paper. Everything was done in accordance with the practice in the office. And out of the 88 ministries that were approved, we are really surprised that we were unable to detect the PEAC and PFICP had actually given us a false establishment act, and now you have proved a false letter of appointment. So we take our responsibility, and we will definitely see that we review our processes to make them more fraud-proof.
The suspect being held in custody based on a subsisting warrant for him to be detained, and as it is so, in order for us to be able to continue to relate well, we are of the opinion that the Honorable Committee Chairman as well as the committee members could or avail us a reproduction warrant, for us to be able to produce him.
Away from that, the federal government has arraigned 2 senior commanders of Ansaru terrorist group alongside 3 alleged associates before the Federal High Court in Abuja about terrorism, kidnapping, and the murder of 2 teachers in a rural local government area of the state. The 5 suspects were brought before Justice Salem Ibrahim, who adjourned the case until September the 24th for the commencement of trial and ordered that they remain in custody of the Department of State Services. The 2 alleged commanders, Abubakar Abba Mahmouda, also known as Abu Baria, and Abubakar Abbas, also known as Malam Mahmouda al-Nigeri, were arrested by the DSS operatives in August 2025 during a recent operation that led to the rescue of victims of Dr. Inori. The DSS also arrested 3 additional suspects believed to be members of the Ansaru terrorist network. The fresh charges comes just a week after Abu Baria and al-Nigeria were sentenced to life imprisonment by a federal government high court in Abuja, a federal high court rather, after pleading guilty to some counts in a 32-count terrorism charge, including membership of the terrorist organization, amongst others. Well, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor George Amopisa, says INEC is fully prepared to conduct the governorship election in Osun State as it has completed a comprehensive readiness assessment across all the 30 local government areas in the state in compliance with the Electoral Act 2026 and the Commission's guidelines. The INEC chairman made this disclosure while addressing stakeholders meeting on the election in Osogbo in Osun State, at the Osun State capital.
As we approach the Osun elections, our priority is to build and sustain the ultimate trust of the electorate. Our biometric voters accreditation system, BVAS, is the heartbeat of our elections. Therefore, we are subjecting our system to a rigorous field test to fortify the sanctity of the ballots during the election. Consequently, on Saturday, 1st August 2026, we will be conducting a mock accreditation exercise across 12 selected local government areas in the state, 4 local governments each per senatorial district. The selected local government areas, and I'm remaining in Osun to supervise it myself.
And let's also tell you that the Osun State Police Command has arrested the Secretary to the Government of the state, Mr. Taslim Ibalaya, along with 5 other persons for allegedly being involved in what the command described as vote merchandising ahead of the August the 15th governorship election. In a statement by the command, the police said the arrest followed the raid of the SSG's residence at the Uruki Estate area of Osogbo, ordering that the permanent voter cards were recovered during the raid. At the meantime, the spokesperson of the Imole Campaign Council, Mr. Pelumi Olajigbesi, has corroborated his claim, demanding the immediate redeployment of the Osun State Police Commissioner for allegedly spearheading the unlawful arrest and detention of the Accord Party members.
In the last 2-3 days, over 86 people, members of our court party, has been arrested for no reasons. These people are arrested and brought by road to Abuja, and they have been detained here unnecessarily. We have met with the leadership of the police, and they cannot provide any explanation to us. There is no petition against them. These people have committed no offense. The Nigerian police today is compromised. The Commissioner of Police in Osun State is completely compromised. There's a need for us to have a free, impartial election, an election where people can freely express their will. Today, having visited our people in detention, we discovered that 36 has been taken to Kefi, 14 has been taken to Kuje for no reason, for no single offense committed. This must not continue. Just now, I have just been informed that the SSG of Osun State has been arrested for no reason, because he was sensitizing his people about election. The Commissioner of Police in Osun State wakes up in the morning, move from town to town to arrest people for no reason. All he needed is to confirm that these people are members of Accord and these people are supporting Governor Ademola Adeleke. A chief in Esauke was arrested day before yesterday, midnight, around 1:30 a.m. We met with the officers here and they said we should go back to the Commissioner of Police in Osun State and that these people are just being kept here, it is the command that arrested them. Why will the command arrest people in Osun State and bring them to Abuja for no reason?
That's what we say, whether this is an election or we're going to war. But let's explore the conversation with the media and publicity campaign person of the Osun State APC Campaign Council. Kehinde Ayatunji is a former senior special advisor and member of the media and publicity in the Osun State APC Campaign Council. Welcome, sir. Mr. Ayatunji, good to have you on the program.
Good afternoon. I'm very glad to be with you this afternoon.
All right, I'm hoping that Pelumi can join us in just a moment, who is in the Imole Campaign Council. Well, for people who are saying, why is the APC trying to stampede its way to victory by using institution of states, perpetrating violence as alleged by Accord? Now there are words, indiscriminate arrest for no reason. You heard Pelumi of members of the Accord party. We thought this was a fight between the Accord and the APC. So why are the members of the APC not being picked like the members of the Accord are being picked? What's your own narrative as far as this issue is concerned?
Well, thank you. That is not true. And when you look at the genesis of the crisis in the last 6 months, you will discover that All Progressive Congress in Osun has been mentioning some names that were hibernating in government house, and we have raised a specific allegation that government officials, they are harboring criminals in their either official or personal residence. So that has been the pattern, and what Accord cannot deny is whether those arrested have committed one offense or the other. So to the best of my knowledge, what Accord party are trying to do in Osun is to blackmail all institutions that are doing their job lawfully. They have started a campaign of calumny against the Commissioner of Police in the last 6 months. And what is the offense of the Commissioner of Police? The Commissioner of Police is saying that this scale of killing must stop and everybody must obey the law, and we must conduct ourselves in a peaceful manner so that we can have a peaceful election in Osun State. That is the offense of the Commissioner. I don't know whether you still remember that in 2022, we lost 25 members of our party, and instead of ending the killings, it only increased in large scale when Governor Ademola Adeleke came.
No, Mr. Ayatunji, let's slow down. Just hold on. Just a moment, Mr. Ayatunji. You can't just say 25 people and brush it over. You have on record that 25 people died or were killed. Is that what you're saying? And what were the circumstances of being killed?
Yes, 25 people were killed, and they are traceable to political killings in 2022. They are facts on ground. We have all these facts. And we have
so you have the names of these 25 people. So if I request for the names of these 25 persons, you can produce it for me, and you can produce it to the
yes, I will produce it. Not just details, but I can give it to you.
Just hold on. Yeah. All lives are important, because I'm going to reach out to you after this show to make sure that I get those, because this is the same claim that Remy had made, and we did ask for those names as well. In fact, Remy said it's 30 people actually. You are saying 25. Even if it's one person, it's not acceptable. Yes. And the argument is that both sides are, just hold on, sir. Both sides are killing people, but now it is one side that has been majorly arrested, because when the IGP had come to Osun to warn everybody, including the governor, to advise him, look, I understand your people are hiding people that are supposed to be in police custody. He also spoke to the APC as well, and even reprimanded, quote and unquote, the Commissioner of Police that doesn't want to hear all this back and forth of not cooperating, because it is the Accord party is saying that the Commissioner of Police doesn't even appear for security briefings. He's working for the APC. So I'm just giving you all the narrative on both sides so that you can respond to all of them at once.
Okay, so that is not true that they are only arresting APC members. You will remember that in the record of local government, they allege one of the special advisor of our local government chairman, they call him Tamfiani, that he was linked with the killing of a 14-year-old in a record local government. He was arrested, and as I'm talking to you, he's still in police custody. And when you look at the names that the spokesperson of our core party the figure that is claiming that have been arrested, and I challenge him to release the name of the people that have been arrested. According to information available to us, majority of them are not from this state. They are suspected laws that are imported into the state. And you cannot ask police not to stop the people that have been arrested because of policy, and it's unfortunate because this scale of violence is taking over the conversation in Osun instead of focusing on the substance of our campaign and telling the people of the state what party A and party B intend to do for the people of the state. When you look at the INEC chairman engagement yesterday, because I saw you just play the video, we raised an alarm day before yesterday that there's a plan to come and disrupt the engagement. And they validated our allegation yesterday when they came to the venue.
Mr. Ayatunji, I need to bring in Pelumi. My apologies. Pelumi Olajigbesi is the spokesperson of the Imole Campaign Council. We saw him just a moment. Pelumi, good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. I don't know whether you were able to get some.
Thank you for having me here.
I don't know whether you got some excerpts from what Mr. Ayatunji has mentioned. He's blaming the accord for everything because I actually challenged him.
Really.
Okay.
So I think we can take it up from here.
Just a highlight.
I heard him talking about arrest and all of that, so we can take it up from here.
So he had said, because I asked him that why is it that it's only accord members that are arrested? He's talking about some 25 persons that have been killed in 2022 or so. That are members of their party, they are politically motivated killing. I think Remy even talked about 30 persons. What is your own side of this story? Because when the IGP came, he had very strong words for the governor over harboring people that are meant to be in police custody, as well as the APC and even the CP. So what is your own side of the story, Pelumi?
I think it's very unfortunate that today in Nigeria, we have to argue about competition of killings, and this is very, very sad. Every life really do matters, be it APC, be it Accord, be it anyone. Lives are very, very important, and we shouldn't even bring killings into politics. Today, what we have in Osun State is such a solid tale. We have an experience where the police, in collaboration with members of APC, are killing people, arresting people, committing all sorts of crime, and nobody's doing anything about it. And that's the sad experience we have. I could add my brother there talking about issue of arrest. I personally visited the office of IRT yesterday, and I counted for myself 67, while others have been taken to Kefi prison, some taken to Kuje prison. Members of our court, not just ordinary members, valid members with known address, with their known name. I can start mentioning the names for you. I can mention the names up to about 86 that have been arrested for no reason. These people are arrested because they belong to Accord and they are campaigning for Governor Ademola Adeleke. You see, about 2 weeks ago in SRK, a young man called Robert was killed in the presence of his wife and his 3 children. He was only killed because he refused to join the APC. You know, he also mentioned here, and it's public knowledge, that a 14-year-old boy was killed in the presence of his father just because the father is a member of APC and the young boy was shouting at God. This is actually very sad. And the killers are known. The Inspector General of Police had to visit Osun State when he discovered that the level of killing and the level of criminality is becoming too much. After his visit, about 24 or 29 members of APC were arrested and they were paraded all over the world. These are people who are involved in the killings in Osun State. But it will interest you to know, sadly, that after the Inspector General of Police left Osun State, these characters were released. And now they were working freely every day. Just yesterday, the secretariat of Accord Party in Elisha was destroyed. Damaged properties, destroyed completely. The videos are available. Our concern is not essentially about who is winning election. Our concern is that we need to ensure that this country is the same society. Let there be a free, credible election. Allow the people of Osun State to determine the governor of their choice. The reality in Osun State is that the APC members are frustrated. Initially, they started the idea of their campaign with the idea of the registration of a third party. They saw that that didn't work. They commenced killing of people. They realized that the people of Osun State knew that they are the killers and that they are doing this killing because of election and to suppress the voice of the people. Now they just moved into unlawful arrest of citizens in Osun State, and I can start counting in SLK 4 days ago, precisely 4 days ago, exactly around 1:30 a.m. midnight. The house of Chief Orija Sheso was invaded and was destroyed. He was arrested and taken away till this moment in the presence of his wife. One other young man was arrested in the same SLK called Bright. This guy was arrested. His clothes were removed in the presence of his wife and was taken away. When I challenged the officers who carried out this arrest, they said to me, because I followed them to Abuja, they said to me that this arrest was carried by the instruction of the Inspector General of Police. Why are we turning Osun State, Nigeria into a banana republic? Are we saying there are no laws in our society again? This is becoming too much. And that's the reason why.
Yeah, my apologies. You made some allegations. So let me come back to you, Mr. Ayatunji. So I'll highlight some of the things. You said your modus operandi, Mr. Ayatunji, that's the APC, is that it started with killings. You have moved on to party deregistration and failed, and now your campaign is on unlawful arrest. And perhaps the big picture is to militarize the election so they can run it over against them. That is the allegation against you. My question is, because I listened to the IGP clearly, and I've listened to both sides, it feels like everybody has their own militia, driven perhaps arguably and allegedly by the NURTW with what has played out recently. How come he's talking about some members of your party that were arrested and now have been released? Why were they released? Were they found free? And why is this 60 to 80 persons as alleged members of their accord taken out of the state?
Well, let me say this. It's unfortunate that my brother is speaking in this manner, because the case of accord that is referring to, APC as a party was never a party in that case. So they should go and settle the crisis of their party, because they want to take over the house that belongs to some people, and those people challenge them that they are the landlord. That's their whole problem. They should not hang it on APC. Having said that, the question you should ask them is that why the Osun State government always find it easy, find pride in it, to associate with suspected criminals and protecting some suspected criminals. Let me mention this, and that's why I'm not holding fault for police, but it's important to trace the record of police and to really
my apologies. I do not intend to cut him. My sincere apologies. I don't want us to miss my question.
Yeah.
They said 60 to 80 persons have been arrested on their side. That there were some 26 persons arrested that were members of the APC who are now being released. I want you to respond to that.
Yes, that's why I said I'm not holding fault for the police. It is the police that arrested them, and it's the police that know the gravity of the offense. It is not every offense that deserves detention. When they arrest you and they find out that that offense is not substantial enough to take you to court, they can grant you administrative bail. And that's why police will be in better position to answer that question. But let me say this, there are some facts, because I said it at the beginning of this conversation that accord appear to be frustrated, and imminent defeat is staring at them. And that's why they want to blame every institution for their failure in the state. Let me say this, the Rogba, very, very unfortunate, and I always condemn it, any form of extrajudicial killing, the issue of Rogba that he is mentioning, and that's why it's unfortunate that our state government don't give police a chance to even have investigation so that we can know what really happened. Because it's sad, what's happening is that the issue of Rogba, when police released their report, they said yes, they condemned the killing of Rogba, but Rogba has the history of courtesan, and he has been remanded separately in correctional services, and that his killing might likely be related to courtesan clashes. Up to today, we are still expecting what police will say about that. Number two, when you look at some of the suspects that we have been mentioning for years, they are either associates of the governor or an appointee of the governor. And these are people that are done big. There is one Olaleke Adagunbade. He was facing terrorism and murder charges in this state. He jumped bail at the federal court. He was declared wanted because before we raise an allegation that he was abandoned in government house. What I'm saying in essence is this: all the claim is making, let's know their record. Let's ask their record.
Because of time, let me switch to Mr. Akpelumi. I don't want to ask any question on this. I would like you. I'm sure you've heard what he said. What's your response?
Well, he did not say anything about the deregistration of political parties, particularly Accord. He said his problem within Accord, and Accord is the one attempting to deregister itself. Anyway, let's leave that out of it. The issue of arresting people, are we going to say that the secretary to the state government is a cultist or has some criminal question to answer? Are we going to say that Chief Orija, an elder statesman who is the chief in his own hometown, he has a criminal issue to answer? Look, I was at the police station, and I'm saying to you that the police they were challenged that please give us the petition or provide allegations against these people. And they said that there are no allegations, that if you want allegations, we should go back to the commissioner of police in Osun State. The reality is that these are politically sponsored arrests. And the APC in the Osun State, they are doing this simply because there's no any other option to approach power than militarizing the election. Let me say this quickly. Today, I want you to know, there's nothing called APC again in Osun State. APC is not a solid party in Osun State. The only two parties in Osun State is Accord and Governor Ademola Adeleke. The reality is that before the election, APC was able to get Wole Oke and one father on state to join their party. Immediately they joined their party, they left the old PDP because of the crisis in PDP. Wole Oke was made the DG of the APC campaign. The reason is very simple. Because APC is bereaved of people who have capacity to actually lead the campaign. After the next person in APC is father, one of the senators that they come to APC has returned back to PDP. So the reality is that APC do not have the capacity to confront these very, very serious elections. Let me tell you this. In 2022, please, in 2022, when Governor Ademola Adeleke was not in power, he defeated the APC happily and graciously. And this coming election, as far as the people of Osun State will be allowed to vote in this election, the APC will not have any serious showing.
All right, but let's wind down. Let me bring it back to Ms. Ayatunji. Ms. Ayatunji is saying that your party has lost ground. This is your last resort to militarize this election and overrun the place and rig it in your favor. That's my own interpretation of his allegation. Or is the APC that popular? And finally on you, what will bring peace? Because this is an election. It's Osun State we're talking about here.
Yes. Let me quickly respond to the two allegations he raised. They have arrested the Accord Party candidate, House of Rep candidate in Nigeria South. It was found, the police claim that they found a pump action in his custody. Two, they arrested the SSG yesterday, and they said they saw one of the suspects that is on police watch list are the residents of SSG, which in my own interpretation, the SSG is harboring criminal. Is that not enough offense? And that is why I said the Accord Party will always blame institution for their failure. They will always blame institution for their crimes and crimes. And let me now respond. Accord is as useless as tissue paper, with due respect, in Osun today, because you
have to mind your language. No, I won't let you. I won't let you call a party useless. Yes.
So, yes, I apologize for that. But what I'm saying in essence is that those evil produce Governor Ademola Adeleke as governor. They are not even more there. And the people of Osun have realized that this is a government of people. You saw a live over the just consulted that is in less than 3 months. So what this government has done to
my apologies, Mr. Ayatunji. Yes.
They want to blackmail all the institutions.
Mr. Ayatunji, so we're totally out of time. My apologies. So we have 15 or so more days or 16 more days to this election. So we're going to keep converging, but we just want peace in the state. But we must thank you both. Pelumi Olajigbesi is the spokesperson of the Imole Campaign Council. Kehinde Ayatunji is a former senior SA, a member of the Media and Publicity Council of the Osun State Campaign Council for the APC. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's it on the program. Thank you for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.